Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, just the right amount of cold, right amount of rainy. Today, we're going to be talking about whether or not you should be pulling for any of the Christmas units, and we're going to talk about the two different Christmas VC cards and whether or not it's going to be worth it to max them out. So I've already done the Ramada and Mashery review, so of course I'm going to leave those to the end, and we're going to go ahead and cover the VC cards first. Now, the first card that we have here is going to be the Moogle card, and everybody is going to be able to get the Moogle card. This is awesome, and it's also differently statted than in JP. The party ability in JP was actually Demon Killer, and in Global, we're getting accuracy up, which is really good. The bestowed effect is going to be dark attack resistance up. And then the limited effects, which we don't know fully yet, are going to be attack up and agility up for both Ramada and Mashery. So let's talk about this card real quick. And let's talk about, if you are going to have to spend Visior, if it's going to be worth it to max out. I think probably the first thing to know about this card is it's most likely going to be a pretty good MR card. And I also think, hopefully, this is me hoping, that if we're getting it for free, we're going to have a reasonable way to max it out. So when I look at this card and I think, if we have to spend like 3,000 to 5,000 Visior to max it out, could potentially be worth it. Definitely worth it if you are pulling for Ramada or Mashery. Definitely with the attack up and agility up. I have a feeling the attack up and agility up are going to be pretty good on them, and so I'm kind of interested in seeing it paired with dark attack resistance up for, Stern and all the other dark units out there. And also, depending on how much the accuracy up is for the party ability, probably a pretty reasonable MR card to max. And I'm sure we're going to be getting a ton of free shards, and potentially even, we'll be able to max it out for free. I don't know, but you never know. It is Christmas, and it is something they're giving to us for free. Let's talk about the special Aldera card, or Mace Equipable Main Job card, right? So party ability, area attack resistance up. Now, pretty much the only way to get reasonable area attack resistance up right now is to use the Warmech card. And the Warmech card actually sees quite a lot of use for its area attack resistance up ability. And it sees it in all forms of play, in all types of PvP, PvE. It's just kind of like Odin, where it's going to just populate someplace wherever you need it, right? So let's acknowledge that the party ability area attack resistance up on this is really powerful. Now, we are going to have to find out how much area attack resistance up this card gives. However, if you are running Mace main job units, this is going to be really powerful for them. Not only does it give magic up as a bestowed effect, it also gives access to height 3 Holy Knight's Purge, which is a range height 3 area 1 attack, which deals medium damage within range based on the caster's magic stat, and lowers attack and magic for 3 turns, and increases potency against targets whose height is a multiple of 3, of course. It also has a chance of inflicting Immobilize. Now, this is all really good, particularly if you think about Aldera, who also benefits from water attack up on this. I feel like calculator units, whether it's Little Leela, whether it's Aldera, are always going to see play. And particularly Aldera has kind of been falling off just a little bit with the onset of Little Leela. And this could be the sort of power spike that Aldera needs. Now, is it something that you need to die hard chase for? Probably not. Again, we don't know what the potency of the attack and magic down is. We also don't know the proc percentage of Immobilize. This is also very important. And we don't know the area attack resistance up percentage. So a lot of that is going to have to factor in. If you don't have the Warmech card, I would say this is most likely a must-get card for you. Just because the War Mech card is so powerful and so versatile, and if you are someone who's either like a whale or a kraken, or someone who is trying to broaden their VC collection and you miss the War Mech event, this is going to be a very powerful card for you. Now, we haven't seen the War Mech card come back in JP. I still think this could potentially be a good chase. One other factor on here that is actually a little different, which could potentially be more powerful for different compositions depending on the War Mech card, is also if the base stats on the card have high magic, which I'm assuming they will. The War Mech card doesn't have the highest base stats, so if you're running a healer in your composition or something else like that, or maybe a calculator or a mace main job unit, you could throw this card on them instead of War Mech and get that magic up that you would normally get without having to use the War Mech card for that, sacrificing that magic. So that's also a possibility as well. Christmas Mastery. Now, there's a lot of debate on whether you should even pull right now with the onset of EX jobs, with Titus coming out in JP. And honestly, I think you're probably right. I think it would probably not be wise if you are a free-to-play player or a player who is, you know, maybe you spend on the game, but you don't spend a lot. I absolutely think it would be wise for you to save your money right now until the level 120 or the EX comes out. That being said, though, if there is a unit that comes out that matches your play style or the element that you want to play with in the future, you might actually want to consider pulling for Christmas Mastery. Although you do need to be warned as well, it's likely they won't get EX until a year from now, right? It's likely we won't see them buffed until next Christmas, and that's a little painful, honestly. So there's a lot of things to think about when you're looking at both, you know, Christmas Mastery and Christmas Ramada. And the first question you should probably ask yourself is, are you going to be running a lot of water compositions? Are you going to be running a lot of fire compositions? And honestly, I would say that's not going to be a dominant composition in a lot of gameplay. I think if you are a player who is looking for like an essential character, right? I think neither of these characters are essential. Now, that being said, I am very excited for Christmas Mastery because she's a Dragoon with Sub Ranger, and I love my Dragoons. But at the same time, I'm going to fully acknowledge she's probably only going to be good for me for like a month or two, right? Because there's no way she's going to be relevant when I go into that level 120 world where it's like, okay, now we have 120 units, you know, Final Fantasy X came out. You know, not only is Christmas Mastery not viable, she's weak because you have Titus and these water element compositions. So it's a real up and down, and I would say you should probably just hoard and either focus on developing your VCs right now, or if you do know fire is the element you want to go for, this could be a good way for you to go. Again, it's going to be really coming down to a decision of personal taste, I believe, and I honestly wholeheartedly cannot recommend with the level 120 coming out in the future that you pull on anything right now, because essentially it's going to be irrelevant in the future. The only unit, if I had to pull one that I would pull, it would probably be Christmas Ramada. And the reason specifically for that is so that her mastery ability would pair with Titus. And we know when Titus comes out that water is going to be pretty prevalent with his power. Granted, Yuna also comes out then too. So it's like, do you want to be that person running the water composition when you could be running the light composition with Yuna? I mean, there's a lot of questions, right? And you're going to be the only one who can really answer them. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting situation we found ourselves in, because as someone who is trying to protect the consumers, it's hard for me to really recommend, unless you're either a Kraken or a Super Whale, chasing these units unless you're really just out there for Ramada's ass. Anyway, everyone, Thank you so much for watching. I hope I do see you guys on stream tonight. I will be pulling for Christmas Mashery tonight, so I hope to see you guys there from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Pacific time. And of course, if you are going to buy Visior, please use my affiliate link, dig.gs/coins, or you can always go to dig.gs/offer as well. And have a great rest of your day, guys.